a bit excited today. Sit down.
Yeah, Dave's happy as well. Right, ready?
No, sit down.
Right. An odd one today, David. Now, I looked round loads at supermarkets. There wasn't that much apart from an Ockentoshan that I fancied, but I remembered you had already got one in your cabinet, so I thought completely off field, and it's been reduced. So it's
Who's in it?
Aldi's,
Right.
Highland Park.
Now, I thought we
8-year-old.
said we weren't buying any of the little and Aldi home brands.
We weren't, however, it's on special. Now it's only £2 off, but
I thought you said it was only £2 there.
£2. Yeah, I've always fancied trying it because loads of people say it's the best blended whiskey, blah blah. It's got this, it's got that. So I don't overly know.
Well, I'm blaming you if it's shit, but I can't see us really having a review either to work off on this one to check if we're anywhere near, is it?
There's a couple of reviews online,
Right.
but everybody says really good things of it. Like the blind tested it against blended whiskies up to the £30 mark, and they all reckon it beats them.
Well, it's in the price range we work in, isn't it? Up to £30, so...
And this is $12.99.
Oh, God. What's up with you this morning?
I do have an issue about whiskies without corks. Yeah. A lot of the...
I know what you mean.
Yeah. A lot of the Japanese ones don't either.
Yeah, they do. You're right. Even with the expensive ones as well, they still twist caps.
Oh, I need a cork in it. Right, you ready?
Yeah, Vicky has one with a twist cap. No, he has a cork, yeah, but Nikkei do twist caps and some of theirs.
Yeah, they did.
Thinking, hey, how much is in that? I know it's cheap, but
You don't have to drink it.
I might not be doing it.
Right.
So what do you reckon, Trud? What's your opinion? Simon's wearing his.
Come on now.
Yeah, he's a bit giddy today.
What's up, kid? Come on.
Well, we haven't done this. We're a bit late again, so he's probably...
It is true, that's my fault again.
Yeah. You have such a busy social schedule.
What remind you? You're always at work.
This is my work. We're sat in my work.
There you go. You don't
I work from this room.
Right, hang on. Let me have a tea.
Right, come on. Yes. You going to see Mama?
Not a bad colour though. So
It's golden.
it's got to have some colour in it, I'm guessing.
It's quite subtle.
It's very orangey.
Yes. Yes.
Like orange skin, orange.
Yes.
That sort of oil.
Orange
comes
peel.
off.
Yeah. Orange peel. Orange oil. Yes, definitely. Very strong, actually. It's almost overwhelmingly orangey. It's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad smell though.
No, it's quite pleasant.
It's got no smoke to it. Not picking up any woody notes or anything.
Sit.
But for a first nose,
Doesn't matter if he comes back.
that's not bad, you know. Do you know what? I don't mind the smell of that. It's really fresh and really...
It is. It's very fresh.
I tell you what, if you could get a Christmas cake to smell like this, it'd be an amazing Christmas cake. Yeah, that's a nice actual smell. Oh, flavour don't disappoint me.
Yeah, I find it a little bit. It's not bad.
Still getting the
It's a bit slow.
orangey note.
I definitely feel like I've bit into an orange peel a little bit.
Yeah.
Stupid, but
It's got that oakiness about it as well. From the barrel. It's not bad.
it's quite long lasting.
It is.
It doesn't. It's almost got a.
It changes as well.
It's almost got a bit of a watery start.
It tastes a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sort of doesn't really hit you straight away, and then it comes as it sort of goes down almost.
First couple of seconds,
Not much at all.
Then when it starts to envelop, you've got, nice wood flavours. Again, I'm picking up that orange.
The orange is a bit overpowering, actually. I think it's probably it's definitely everything else.
You reckon that to the sherry cask, don't you? That they overpower sometimes.
I find them a bit too sweet sometimes, a bit too sickly. But this isn't sickly, it's not sweet.
No.
You can get the oakiness, definitely. The orangey, sort of oily, that, like, it's just sort of a bit...
That's a really prominent flavour in this.
It's pushing through a bit.
Orange oil that you get when you,
Yeah, that's very prominent.
Yeah, it is.
And probably to the negative of the other flavours almost, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, because there's a bit of spice to it.
But everything seems to be a little bit too far back.
Because that's
very
so
much
in your face. Yeah, I'll give you that, yeah.
Look at us two sat here, acting like we know what we're talking about.
We know. We know what we're talking about. We're just not sure what we're talking about is any good. So that's the difference there. We know what we know what we're talking about, but maybe what we're talking about is full of crap. So
Old soaks always know their whiskies.
I think that's true.
What's next week? Meths?
Is that mezcal? That's made from... It's made like tequila.
No, she means actual mess.
All right, yeah.
Methylated spirits.
Like a drink, but
We're going to be cute. I'm getting on discount. It wasn't selling being cute.
It is very oily and it is very...
Very oily.
I mean, that's not a bad thing, bearing in mind it's 40% and it's a blend.
It's not my palate. You can tell it's a blend. But I've paid more for a lot worse.
I bet you paid a lot more.
I paid double for a lot worse.
Yeah.
For 13 quid, or 12.99?
£12.99, yeah.
For 13 quid.
Personally,
I'd rather spend the bit extra and get something that I prefer.
Like what?
Just something that's a bit more rounded. It's a bit singular in its flavour.
With the orange?
Yeah. But it's more down to my personal taste rather than
have another sniff now.
a problem of the whiskey, if you know what I mean.
I'm still getting the orange, but it's not as heavy, so it's...
No, I think because it does last. It lasts a very long time. It sits there for a very long time. And it's not unpleasant. It's not a flavour that I'm thinking, oh God, I couldn't drink this shite. But
no, definitely not. This ain't
no, it's not at all. But it just...
A few of the blends aren't pleasant.
It just doesn't really do anything for me, if you know what I mean.
Would you buy a blended whiskey then?
I have some blends, yeah.
A blended malt?
I like some blends.
Blended whiskey? Because he was gritty.
Both. But
Bless you.
I'll give this to people I didn't like.
See, if you get the Johnny Walker green, which is 15-year-old, I believe, that's 30 odd quid. And I'm not sure it's...
I don't think he does any more to that, no.
No, I don't think.
No.
You buy a Monkey Shoulder, which is a blended malt. That again's 25, 30 quid.
And I wouldn't say it's anything particularly better. It's got... When you take a decent mouthful, you feel like it's mixed with water.
Which, that hits you with a 40%, but then...
It's a bit odd. It's...
Excuse me.
Just pour it over the place.
Jesus, what a slob. But yeah, I just think you do get that sort of watery, but I guess 40% you're going to get it, but it's got that long-lasting flavour profile.
It's got a very long-lasting flavour. I find the orange, the oily orange, and it does taste oily.
It does, yeah. There's no getting away with that.
I don't find it offensive, but at the same time, it's not doing anything for me. I mean, if you were on a real tight budget and you had bugger all to spend, yeah, you know, when you look at it from value for money against taste and everything else,
Yeah,
it's a winner,
if
without
you look
doubt.
at what's in supermarkets for 25 quid,
Oh, it stands with any of it.
it's comparative.
Easily.
It's £12.99. So,
Easily.
and even at full price, it's only,
$14.99.
yeah. So, I mean,
But it's not something I would make a conscious choice to buy.
I'm not sure I would buy it again, because I don't think I'd ever be in a situation where I was that desperate for a drink that...
No, I say I'd rather spend the extra
Yeah.
money and get something that's a bit more going on. But
But I wonder what that extra money would get you.
probably, I think you're in one of them very awkward positions where for what you pay for it, its offering is very, very, very good value for money,
Yes.
but it's not doing anything much in the flavours in its own right, but at the same time, it's not offensive in any way.
If someone gave you a drink of it,
No, I wouldn't be insulted.
I'd drink it.
Yeah.
And I'd go, oh, what's that? And you'd have a little conversation, and then you'd go, okay. But I've had a couple of a bit more expensive whiskies from Aldi or Lidl. And they might be 28, 29 quid, and they're nowhere, they're on a par with this. So whoever did the blending, wherever they've got the stock from, chose really well. Because it's a staple at Aldi. It's been on shelves for ages.
Yeah,
And if they can knock something as decent as that.
and I think that's one of the problems, isn't it? You'll find they can achieve a certain standard, but they just can't go above it.
But then you might look at other blends and go, how can Aldi do that for 14 quid, where you might get another blend that's 25? How can Aldi knock it out for that?
What's the Bicky Master Blend? 75? That's a blend.
I know.
I mean, it's a beautiful whiskey though, but
It is, and it's got whiskies of up to
Is it
the Master
80 now?
Blend. It's got whiskies of up to 30 years old in it,
yeah.
allegedly. But I bet they're only that big in the barrel that they can say it.
Pipette.
Yeah. But that's how they get the blends, isn't it?
No, it's value for money can't beat it. It
No, you
knocks the
can't.
socks off lots of stuff we looked at for value for money.
Absolutely.
As a flavoursome drink, it's a bit meh for me.
Would you use it as a mixer? Cocktail? I mean, I don't drink cocktails.
I
but-
think it would work very, very well with something else. You know, if you were mixing it with a Coke or something else, I think it
Yeah.
would work very, very well.
Cake.
Yeah, I think it'd actually be very, very good for cooking with.
Tell you what, if you put it in Christmas cake or something like that,
I think it'd be, yeah, I do.
I know usually rum into it for your
No.
raisins.
I use whiskey or brandy.
Brandy
Right.
usually.
Is
Usually
it?
brandy, yeah.
But I reckon, because...
Jack Daniels we used to do a lot of, didn't you?
Yeah,
Did
the
you?
honey one.
No, the honey was vile, but it works really well in cakes.
I just think that honeyed whiskey should be outlawed, should be
That's
banned.
vile.
It's disgusting.
Needy.
It's just, there's no excuse, no reason for shit like that.
It's just vile.
There's just not.
It's just
Great for
absolutely
cooking
vile.
with. It puts
Yeah,
it
it's
in
very
cake,
good for
look
cooking with.
fantastic.
But yeah, it's one of them, you know, when you look at the cost to what you get, it's absolutely brilliant. When you let it make it stand alone on its flavour, it's a bit,
But I think
could do better.
if you've had a fair amount of whiskey in your time, your palate becomes snobby. It does, Dave. You know that.
Well, yeah, it's like anything though, isn't it? I mean, if you've driven a nice car, you can't drive a shit one again. You know, if you've had nice restaurants, then you sort of everyday diners just disappoint in general, yeah.
And for you're driving round and you think I'm starving, then your diner will absolutely do. But if if you want to take your wife somewhere special, then your diner's not going to do, and that's this.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you reach for something because
It's a McDonald's of whiskies. It is. Culinary wise, it's absolutely shite. But it is perfectly palatable and you'll happily pay the money for what you get.
Yeah.
But it will leave you wanting.
Because if you go to one of these fancy burger joints, that'll cost you 12 quid for a burger.
Five Guys, yeah, and you walk out there thinking I've been raped and I've just spent 25 quid on a burger meal when I could have actually gone to a decent restaurant and got steak.
Yeah. That's what this is.
Breathe.
Yeah. That's what this is.
It's because of its price, it makes it so much more attractive.
Yeah.
It's your fast food whiskey.
Yeah, it is. And there's a lot of fast food whiskies out there, and that's kind of the idea of the show, isn't it?
Up to what I've tasted up to now, and I admit we're still early days in this. I mean, I think this is episode 4 or 5. For bang for buck,
I think
it's number one.
Yeah.
We haven't touched anything that can compare with the value of that monetary against what you get for
because
it.
everything we tested been on sale, so we're looking at 10 to 15 quid sometimes in your Asda's, your supermarket,
But
on
usually
sale
it's
for
20.
20. Well, no, but the savings are 10 to 15 quid.
Yeah.
And then you're thinking, this is £2 off, and it's bog standard price is 14, and you think
it's still half the price of what we normally buy it, 10 or under, and it stands with them. But
I'm
it's
sold on that.
It's just not lighting any fires for me.
It's not, but for the pure Yorkshireman in me,
tight ass.
it makes a complete fucking bag of sense. I tell you what, this would work. And don't scream at me if you disagree, but if you've got...
We don't have anyone watch this. No one's going to disagree.
In years to come when we've got this platinum YouTube thing.
Yeah, when we've got 50 followers.
Yeah, and it's like, if you've got something like... I bought a really good Glen Farkless, but it was 60%, and I couldn't drink it. It was too heavy for me.
Yeah.
Even blend watered down, I thought, what's the point of having a really expensive whiskey if I just have to water it down to 40%? I might as well have just got a 40% there.
Yeah.
But I reckon if you put a nip of that in this,
It'd transform it.
that'd be amazing.
You're starting your own blending now.
And is that what I'm doing?
You got that blending kit for Christmas like I did, didn't you?
I did, yeah. Have you used it?
No, not yet.
I've used it. It's really interesting to see the change of flavour profile. It genuinely is. Because you can get quite a few bottles out because there's 5 bottles and one unopened one.
Yeah.
So you just fill the unopened one, and quite happy just pissing around on a night amusing myself. It's not how I usually amuse myself.
No, it's not. But we can't talk about how you normally amuse yourself because,
yeah.
it would shut the channel down if you started discussing that.
But that's an interesting way of adjusting your palate to think something tiny in a glass can completely change the flavour profile.
I was shocked. My good lady sat over there behind the computer looking at us and laughing. Took me on a whiskey tasting experience, and it was quite early on in my whiskey flavourings.
Yes.
And I was quite shocked. One of the huge range of flavours, and there was 4 tasters, but they were polar ends of the spectrum of what you could taste.
Yeah.
And then what literally a couple of drops of water did to change flavour
out, yeah.
It was incredible. I mean, it was like drinking different drinks.
I don't think this could take any water.
No, it's already got it's weird. It's hard to explain. You feel
Have
like...
a taste of that.
I've had a taste of that. I don't want your sloppy seconds. It's like you have
It's
to
completely
get
different.
through a layer of water to get to the whiskey underneath.
I'm getting way more wood profiles in it now. Less of the orange, but it's still there. But I'm getting that oak.
There's definitely an oak to it.
Definitely that woody sort of flavour to it.
To me, it's wood and orange, and there's not much more going on. It's quite simple. There are very subtle flavours in the background, but they're just not strong enough to come through.
Yeah, I think that's probably right.
And it's got a very neutral initial flavour. It is literally like the first second or two of drinking it, you're going through water.
Yes.
To get to the flavour underneath. But at $12.99, I mean, you like you say, I'd offer it guests all day long.
I'd just maybe put it in a different bottle.
Yeah.
Decant it. I'll decant it into something else, and you're like, oh, this is lovely, this, isn't it? No, mate. I reckon how much your mind takes over. So if I put this into a different bottle,
I was just thinking.
And you went, right, would we smell and taste the same?
If I presented you with something and said, this is a £800 bottle of whiskey.
Yeah.
And it was actually that. Would your perception of what you were drinking be completely different?
Yes. And would the belief that more money guarantees you better whiskey?
Which it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, a prime example of that is some of the investment bottles. You know, they're released at 35, 50, 60, 70 pound a bottle.
Yeah.
And 5 years later, they're 7, 8, 900 pound a bottle. It's still a 70 quid bottle of whiskey. It's not got any better.
No.
It's just that because it's a limited edition or there's not so many of them, each scarcity has pushed the price up. But it definitely isn't a 35-year-old £800 bottle of whiskey.
But I think it's only availability or scarceability because collectors... Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
I'm going for that. But collectors are buying it knowing it's going to go up in value.
Yeah.
It annoys the crap out of me.
And it's something that I've started to try and capitalise on, but at the same time, it is literally for the sake of it. You know, it isn't a whiskey that's taken that amount of time and preparation to justify that price. If you're looking at a 20, 25, 30, 35, even 40-year-old...
700 quid.
Well, no, 40-year-olds are in 2000s, aren't you?
Depends what it is, though.
Then you can see the time and investment. You know, that's sat in a barrel for 30, 35, 40 years.
I get.
You can see how they can, to a degree, justify the price.
And a lot of the time, I mean, Highland Park, for example, it just, all the sort of hiking, I'll guarantee the new fall. It's like when they did the Game of Thrones whiskies. That was purely only done for collectors to buy to make rare.
Yeah.
What's the
Well, I've got the Thor.
Yeah.
And it was 70 quid on release, and it's now selling at £800. Yeah, I've made money on it if I sell it, but it's definitely not in its taste and flavour an £800 whiskey.
And I think,
no chance.
But that's where you go, really?
That's the snobbery element of it, isn't it?
Absolutely.
That's the old school sort of, you know, I'm spending a lot of money on this shit, so it tastes nice, because I don't want to admit I spent £2 grand on a bottle and it tastes like shite.
Yeah. And I wonder how much the distilleries have coined in on that, as it were. Because you're talking about hard-working folk who must enjoy what they do, because it's in places where no one else would choose to do it. Most of it in Scotland's in arse end of nowhere places, apart from your sort of big ends like Glasgow and stuff. But if you go further up, in the middle of nowhere, you've got to want to work there. You've got to have a thirst and a knowledge to work there. And then they're owned by massive companies who just care about profit. A lot of them, man. Glengoyne isn't, obviously, I know that, but...
There's definitely a snobbery, and there's definitely a pricing for the sake of pricing. And I mean, this is the other thing. I mean, we're going way off here, but when you're talking about some of these bottles that are £8,000 and £10,000 a bottle, I looked at one the other week, just by chance, it popped up. The problem is when you discuss whiskies near your phone, it starts showing you advertisements for whiskey.
Yeah.
And there was a bottle popped up there, £85,000. I'm sorry, there is no flavour on the planet that justifies £85,000.
No, there's not.
You know?
No, there's not. But yet collectors will pay. Well, clearly people pay that for it.
Oh yeah.
And I don't understand what they're doing. Is they're pushing the price of honest, decent whiskey drinkers out of a realm that they can afford.
I bought a bottle just before Christmas. I can't remember what it was. What was that bottle I got?
Get the Teelings one.
No, that old one, that 70s.
Famous grouse.
Oh, Famous Grouse one.
I bought a bottle of Famous Grouse, pure mint condition, 1970s bottle.
Yeah.
Would have sold back in the 70s at probably 8 quid, 7 quid a bottle.
Mm.
I actually gave about, I think it ended up I gave about £100 for it. They're selling online for £200 to £300.
It's not going to...
And it's just because of the age. There's nothing else in it at all because it's a
Yeah.
50-year-old bottle of whiskey. I mean, obviously you spend that 50 years in the bottle, it's not spent that in the barrel.
Its flavour, is it?
I think it mellows. I do think they mellow with age in the bottle. I don't think they get a much of a change of flavour profile, but I do think they soften. But just the fact that, obviously, particularly with a brand like Famous Grouse, which was bought to drink,
Yeah.
they weren't kept.
No.
And all this happens to be, this was a case that was found in an old woman's house when she died. And there was 12 bottles, and they were absolutely split mint. There's not a mark on them.
Nice.
Beautiful. And, you know, for £100, it was worth a pump.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was well worth a pump. But that's still really a £10, £15 bottle of whiskey.
Yeah. That you yeah.
It's just because it's rare now for the age. That's it.
When I used to, not Morrison's, M&S used to sell bourbon. Elijah Craig, 12-year-old. Used to be, you could get it for 25 quid. It suddenly became fantastically popular. Stock's dried up, you can't get it now. And they've started producing other Elijah Craigs. But the 12-year-old that used to sell in Marks and Spencer, not looking at hundreds of years ago, looking at about 6 for 25 quid, is now you can buy on the Whiskey Exchange for 120. And it's like, it was a fantastic bourbon, I've got to say. As bourbons go, it was lovely.
But is it 120 quid's worth of bourbon?
But that's like you were saying, it's a rarity value.
Yeah.
And the new Elijah Craigs don't come anywhere near it, to be fair.
And I think there's an element with this of people pushing price up because they're just willing to pay it.
Yeah.
Because they've got more money than sense.
Yeah.
And they just want to stand there and say, I've got an 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 bottle of whiskey.
There was a massive fire in one of the whiskey bourbon, I think it was Heaven's Hill or Jim Beam, one or two. Massive fire, warehouse collapse, loads of bottles. The whiskey jumped up in value afterwards. And it's like, well, I get the fact that there's no longer the massive amounts of stocks, but you stop penalising people for what technically is not their fault. And I just think...
It hasn't changed.
Shocking.
It's not got any better.
And old Trump hadn't helped either with his tariffs on whiskey and bourbon.
Can you think,
Ridiculous.
though, potentially, you could buy a bottle of that,
Yes.
stick it in a cupboard,
Yes.
and in 60 years' time, because it will no longer be around, it could actually be valuable.
Well, if Aldi can knock this out, an 8-year-old blend, they must have massive amounts of stock of it to keep blending the bottles. 'Cause sooner or later, the stocks will dry up.
Yeah, but it's
So-
like, you look at some of the cars and stuff like that now, that were regarded as pieces of shit when we were kids,
Yeah.
that actually now have value.
Well, you look to buy a Fiesta XR2i or XR2,
Mint.
forget it.
Yeah.
You're looking at, well, you wouldn't give it away when we were driving it, but now, because they're so rare, you're looking at, I've seen the RS Turbos for 20 odd grand.
I've seen Cosworths pushing nearly 200,000, 100,000 now. 80 plus grand for an RS 500. Rare car even when it was produced,
Yeah.
but mechanically, as a car, it's a bit shit. Doesn't handle well,
Compared
doesn't
to
brake
nowadays.
well, doesn't do anything very well, it's just got a shitload of power.
That's like any of the old Porsches, people rave about them. But if you talked to, I knew a bloke who used to drive them in Sweden, and they'd buy a bog standard one, rip it out, put new suspension, new everything in, and then race it, because they were crap. They were death machines. But people buy them bog standard for loads of money now and go, look at me, I'm driving a rear wheel drive Porsche, it's fantastic. No, it's not. it's a death trap. It was then, it is now.
It is weird how...
People's perceptions of stuff's just gone a bit barking, I think.
It was like DeLoreans, isn't it? Shit car when they were made.
Yeah.
Failed as a business because they were shit cars.
Look good though.
But you'll get a fortune for one then.
Yeah.
Onto GTE.
Who fucks all man to GT? Another bag of shit.
I always wanted one of them.
Yeah, really.
Always. Hey.
Lance
Renault 5 GT.
No, Lance Integriale.
Left-hand drive.
Yeah, but what a car.
I can't drive right-hand drive for the
You
best
can't
of
drive,
times.
not the old granny.
I've got to say,
Anyway, we
Just
get
to
an
finish off, yeah, 'cause we're going off.
We're ravelling.
8 years, it is from Aldi's. Now, it's normally 14 quid and it's is it 12.50? I think I paid 12.50 for this.
You only bought it because you're a tight twat and didn't want to go spend proper money on a bottle.
I just wanted to see the difference, because if we're paying that 25 for things that are...
There is definitely
I'm not sure it makes sense.
same as it is with cars, same as it is with watches and other things, there is definitely an element of brand snobbery.
Yes,
you
there is.
You change that from Highland Black to Highland Park and you'll immediately put 20, 30 quid on the bottle.
If you put Johnny Walker on this, then people go, oh, it's fantastic, blah, blah. And do you know what? It's not.
And I'm guilty of that a little bit myself.
Yeah?
I don't mind admitting it. I am a little bit guilty of that myself. I won't consider certain things because they don't have the name or the prestige attached to them. And
Which is kind of why I wanted to broaden your horizons today, Dave.
Well, you disappointed me, to be fair.
But having said that, I wouldn't necessarily go and get a blended whiskey.
No, I mean, for its money.
But for absolute
wrong.
bang for bucks.
But I will be letting you take that home.
Oh, will you?
Yeah, I won't be fighting you for it. And don't be giving it me next time I come round.
I'll put it in. I'll put it in one of a good. I'll put it in one of my old good bottles and just tell you that. You don't know the difference. Yeah.
This is a Highland Black shit. You're trying to pop me off in it.
Crap.
Right.
But yeah, for bang for buck, that's up there for me.
It's me next week, isn't it?
It is.
Oh God, it's a bit of a like pulling teeth at the moment, trying to find something on offer.
Trying to find a good whiskey though on offer is hard.
I might have to dig into my cupboard.
I will have a look.
I've scoured yesterday and the day before.
No, it's saying that we might start getting a look at end of the month because Valentine's Day is coming up.
It's coming up, yeah.
Yeah, so we might see a bit of a push. But I will. If not, I'll dig something out of the cupboard and we'll have a play with something a bit different.
Cool.
I've got an Italian one.
What?
An Italian whiskey.
An Italian whiskey?
Yeah,
What's
it's.
in the Swedish one?
And we've got a Swedish one, yeah. You
No.
quite like the Swedish one.
No, because that Swedish one's lovely. No, that Swedish one was...
You really like that, didn't you?
Oh, you've got a cabinet full of whiskies, yeah? I went back to the Swedish one because it was like, ooh. That for me, it were complex. You go back to it and get something different from it, and you'd go back for it and get something different, and then you'd go, ooh, it's like a layer on top of a layer on top of a layer on top of a layer.
The Italian's very sweet. It's quite syrupy.
Is it?
Yeah, it's quite syrupy. It's quite sweet.
The Italians do like they're sweet.
It is way over just a sherry cask sort of
Is
sweetness. Yeah, it is quite sweet.
An Italian whiskey.
Yeah, I've got Italian, I've got Swedish, Korean, Japanese.
You multicultural kind of guy.
I've got another one as well. It's from a weird Finnish, Icelandic.
Yeah, that's the 3-year-old, isn't it?
Yeah. We'll have to open that.
Probably just going to go up in value, that.
I've got two.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I got one to drink and one to... The investment one I bought was one of the early ones out of the batch. The bought one's like 3 years later, so it's a lot. It was literally an airport buy was the second one.
Yeah, that's what airports are there for, aren't they?
So
what's that in down? That bird? Is it jit?
yeah, we've got all sorts at the moment.
You can't see the view, kids, but beautiful, lovely view.
At the moment we've got ducks, herons, pheasants, squirrels, woodpeckers, jays.
Woodpeckers?
Yeah, I've got one woodpecker.
Nice.
Very rare, apparently.
I don't get tired of the view though, I must confess.
Yeah, it is a nice place to be.
It is.